Welcome back to another video, and during this video, I want to talk to you about email marketing. So here I am inside of the dashboard, and at the top right, I went ahead and I clicked on the email and automations tab at the top here. And then once we do that, we are instantly thrown into our email marketing and automation portion of the platform. Now on the left-hand side, you'll notice we have a few different options here. We have dashboard, campaigns, automations, lists and subscribers, email templates, and settings. And I'm going to do my best to go through each of these options so that you understand them fully. So the first thing I want to talk about is how to actually import your subscribers. You may already have a list of subscribers and you want to import them into the platform. So to do that, we are going to click on lists and subscribers. And then once I do that, at the top right, I am now going to click on add subscriber. And then once I do that, it's going to open up this window where I can add a single subscriber or I can import. So we are going to click on import. And then once I do that, we can now select the list that I would like to import to. Well, right now we only have one, and that's the default list. So I'm going to select that. I could create a new list if I wanted to, but I'm going to select the default list and then I'm going to click on import. Once I do that, we can import with a CSV file. I have to agree to the terms here, and then I can click on import now. And once I do that, it's going to ask me to choose my CSV file, and I can select that and go ahead and get my list imported. Now, once we have that list imported, you most likely want to go ahead and create an email marketing campaign. Now, to do that, we are going to go back over here to campaigns on the left-hand side. And then once we do that, we are now going to click on create a campaign up here at the top right. Now, we need to give this a name. I'm going to call mine welcome, and then I'm going to click on next. Then we have a campaign type. This could be a regular campaign or an A/B split campaign. I'm going to go ahead and go with a regular campaign and then click on next. From here, we can choose a template out of this wide variety selection that we have. I'm going to go with the first one here. And then once we are inside of here, I can begin clicking inside of this email editor and making any changes that I want to make it my own custom email. So we have our styling options. We can go back inside of the blocks here, and we can even just drag and drop different blocks into our email, just like so. So we can customize this any way that we want. Now, something else we want to do is head over here to our recipients tab, make sure we save our changes there, and then we can choose who we are sending this to. So are we sending it to our default list? Are we sending it to a different segment, which we'll talk about later? Who is it going to be? And once we have that selected, we can go to next, get a summary. We can do the from, the reply to, the subject of the email, and then go next and then go forward with sending out that campaign. Maybe perhaps you want to set up some automations instead. So this time, instead of campaigns, we're going to go ahead and click on automations. And then once again, we're going to click on create a new automation at the top right. Now we can do a blank automation or we can do an abandoned cart automation. For this tutorial, let's go ahead and do an abandoned cart automation. So we're going to select that. I'm going to call this cart 1 for my automation name and click on submit. Now, since we selected the abandoned cart, this is already pre-built for us. But even if you did a blank template, you can build this out any way that you want. And we can even customize this one as well. So clicking on the little plus icon is going to add a new element that we can choose from. So it can be an action like a delay. It can be sending an email. It can be adding tags, removing tags, so forth, depending on what actions they take. And then we can also click inside of these emails and make changes to the emails as well. So the automation flow that we can build out, your imagination is the limit. Now, the most important part of the automation is going to be the trigger that puts someone inside of this automation. So in this case, it's an abandoned cart. The contact abandons the checkout cart, and that's going to put them inside of this automation. However, if we were doing this from blank, we would go to add a new trigger here, and any of these can be the trigger. So if they're added to a list, they'll get thrown into this automation. If a tag is added or removed, they get thrown into this automation. So as I said, you can build these out any way that you want. Just make sure you save your changes up here at the top. Now, we've been talking about the email lists that we have created here, and all we have right now is our default list. Well, let's go ahead and add more lists. So to do so, we are going to click on lists and subscribers. And then once I click on that, on the right-hand side, we are going to click on add subscriber once again. But this time, instead of adding a subscriber, we are going to click on create list underneath the list option. So we're going to click that. And for the list name, this can be anything that you want it to be. We're just going to say product buyers. So anyone who buys my product is going to be added to that list there. And then once we have that created, we can see it's listed there now, so we can go ahead and close out of that. The next thing I want to talk to you about is how to connect a domain name for your email sending. So to do that, we're actually going to go inside of our settings. And once we do that, we'll see domain names, and then we'll see add a domain. So we can actually click on that. We can insert our domain name here and then click on submit. Now, once we do that, it's going to ask us for a valid email address for that domain name to go ahead and verify it. So as we can see here, I entered mydomain.com as an example. So now I want to email like hello@mydomain.com, support, or whatever it may be, and then you will have to verify that email address. Once we have that connected, I want to show you how to create email templates. So on the left-hand side, we're going to click on email templates here. And you'll remember that we chose one of these templates when we were creating our campaign. However, if you're running a business, you most likely use a lot of the same branding and the same elements inside of your emails. Well, if that's the case, you can actually create your own template that you can use each time you create a new campaign. So to do that, we are going to click on Add a New Template at the top right-hand corner. And then once we do that, it's going to bring us into this blank canvas here for our email. And now we can begin using these blocks and dragging and dropping and customizing this template any way that we like. So maybe you want your header, and then you want a video there, and we can add some more content here, and then we can adjust the colors, so we can do the fonts, the sizing, everything. And then we can save this as a template with our logo already uploaded and so forth. And now anytime we create a new campaign, we can just select this template that we just created underneath My Templates, and a lot of the work is already done for us. Now, the last thing I would like to show you is how to actually add subscribers to this list that we just created via forms, checkouts, quizzes, and so forth. So I'm going to head back inside of the builder, and then we're going to go ahead and we are going to delete this 1-hour consultation right now. And instead, we're going to remove that. And in place of that, I want to add a form. So I'm going to go to my add widget options over here. And then underneath lead generation, we can use a quiz, bookings, forms, whatever. I'm going to use a form right now, and I'm going to drag it and I'm going to drop it inside of my page here. Now, once I have that dropped, I'm going to click inside of my form over here, and then I'm going to click on the gear icon to open the edit settings. And then once I do that, we have some options here for our form. But what I want to do is I want to go to the bottom here where it says connect to email marketing, and I want to select my list. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to select product buyers just for this example, and then I'm going to go to confirm. So now once I do that, we have one more option here where we can enable double opt-in if we want to. Now, a double opt-in is when someone submits their information and then they have to confirm their email, confirm that they actually wanted to submit that form. So if we turn that on, they will have to confirm their email address. If we turn it off, once they submit this form, they are automatically added to the list that we just created. So that's up to you. But once we have that configured, just make sure we save it. And that's really all there is to the email marketing portion of the platform. If you run into any issues at all or need more assistance, you can click on the help icon down here at the bottom and then click on email marketing right here in the middle.